British Muslim TV hired the two of us to produce a film for them from the ground up with a very limited budget, very limited parameters.
One of them was that it has to be a film that appeals to a Muslim practicing family audience. The second one was that we had to focus on the non-physical side of their relationship, of them falling in love. We weren't allowed to have, them hugging or anything like that.
We had to include as many opportunities for cameos, particularly Muslim cameos. We had to include a Muslim talent show within the film. There were all sorts of things like that.
So when I set about writing the story, there was two things that both Sol and I wanted to make sure that we had. One was that it's a very British film, and the other thing was that we can try and make this story, even with these parameters, appeal to as many people as possible outside of the demographic that BMTV wanted to initially focus on for the charity tour.
Originally, the script was very different, actually. At the very start of things, it was going to be this film with 6 protagonists and their lives all intertwining and meeting each other, and each of those were based on people that we'd met.
The way that you see Shahid, the way that you see FATIMAH, they're based on people that I've come across in my life. Most of the women that I know are independent, strong, stand-up women. And yeah, Shahid's based on quite a few people that I know, including myself. Production's a bit complicated because we sort of split the shoot over 2 periods of time, and the second period was actually while we were also in post-production as well, because we had such a tight deadline. If we were to just cram it together, it'd be about 6 weeks, wouldn't it?
Altogether, yeah. Obviously it wasn't ideal, but it was also quite beneficial in a lot of ways, because we had this luxury that a lot of films don't, where we were able to kind of look at the shape the film was taking, look at the direction it was going in, and then rewrite and rework the second half of filming to accommodate that. And I think that did work to the film's strength quite a bit. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything like that, but we basically had our hands tied with a lot of things going into the first portion of filming, and it was very much a case of, if we don't start rolling cameras now, this film probably isn't going to happen. We basically just had to dive in with the somewhat messy plan for the first shoot. Essentially, there were very few people doing about 20 people's jobs all at once.
From February last year up until sort of June time, it was just me and Sol. I was doing the script and doing all the planning. Sol was recruiting and working, doing speaking to agents and God knows what, with all the casting, doing about 5-6 people's jobs. I was doing a couple of people's jobs. I mean, in indie filmmaking, that's what you have to do. The thing that I like about Asmara Gabriel and why we cast her earlier on was because she sort of had this feisty element about her, which that came from an earnest place within her. Wahab Sheikh, who plays Nav, he actually auditioned originally for Abs, the original Abs from the first script. He was just so good in the audition, and I just thought he's a funny guy. Moving on to Mandeep Dhillon, I'd seen Mandeep Dhillon in this thing called My Jihad, and I just thought, you know what, she's really, really good. And I thought, let's just ask, see what she says, and she came on board, which was brilliant. The same with Danny as well. Danny was somebody who I watched on a BBC drama called Capital, and I really liked the drama that he was in. He was exactly what I wanted as a director.
I mean, it's been a real labour of love, I guess, a lot of hard work.
It wasn't like we were going to get rich off it. It's not like we were, we were going to gain anything out of it, other than the fact that we're just both filmmakers who wanted to take this, this story that we were commissioned to do and try and take it somewhere. And I think that I'm quite happy with where it's at.